The barbell crashed to the mat like thunder, splintering the air in that crowded Chicago gym. And in that split second, Jordan's body slammed into mine, his breath hot against my neck as we tumbled together in a tangle of sweat and steel. I felt his heartbeat pounding through his chest like a war drum, syncing with my own frantic pulse. And for one eternal moment, the world narrowed to the press of his thigh against mine, the raw scent of him overwhelming everything. That fall wasn't just gravity's cruel joke. It was the crack in the facade we'd built for years, the one where I pretended my best friend was just that, straight, untouchable, the brother I never had, until his eyes locked on mine, wide with something deeper than shock, and whispered, "Alex, I think I'm broken." I'd always known Jordan Hayes was the kind of guy who turned heads without trying. At 29, he was all easy charm and effortless athleticism. The straight arrow marketing was who dragged me into his orbit back in our Northwestern days, when keg parties and late-night study sessions blurred the lines between friendship and something I dared not name. We were the odd couple. Me, Alex Rivera, 28, the quiet gay architect sketching blueprints for high-rises that scraped the Windy City sky, hiding my crushes behind wire-rimmed glasses and dry wit. Him, the golden boy with a laugh that echoed like summer thunder, dating a revolving door of sorority sisters who never quite stuck. Our bond was ironclad. Road trips to the dunes of Indiana, beers on his fire escape overlooking Lake Michigan, confessions over whiskey about dreams we'd chase. But beneath it all simmered my secret. The way my gaze lingered on the curve of his jaw when he shaved, the electric jolt when our hands brushed during a high five. I buried it deep, told myself it was harmless, that loving him from the shadows was enough. That humid July evening, the gym pulsed with the city's relentless energy. Gold's Gym in River North was our ritual, a twice-weekly escape from deadlines and heartaches. Jordan had texted me at dawn, "Dude, need to blow off steam. 6 p.m.? Bring your A game." I showed up in my usual black shorts and faded Bulls tee, heart already racing at the thought of him spotting me on the bench press, his hands steady on the bar, inches from my chest. The place was alive, thumping hip-hop from overhead speakers, mirrors fogging with collective exertion, the clang of plates like a metallic symphony. We warmed up side by side on ellipticals, trading barbs about his latest flop of a client pitch and my stalled redesign for a Luke condo tower. "You're too pretty for this corporate grind," I teased, wiping sweat from my brow. He grinned, that lopsided smile that always disarmed me. Says the guy who could model for GQ if you stopped hiding behind those sketches. We moved to free weights, the air thick with the tang of effort. Jordan loaded the bar for squats, his quads flexing under gray sweats that hung low on his hips. I spotted him, hands hovering, fighting the urge to trace the V of his back. "One more," I urged, voice steady despite the knot in my gut. He pushed up, veins bulging, a grunt escaping his lips that sent a forbidden shiver down my spine. Then it happened, the slip. His foot caught on a stray plate, the bar wobbled, and down we went. Time fractured, the roar of the fall, bodies colliding, my back hitting the mat, first with him sprawling atop me, one arm pinning my shoulder, the other braced beside my head. The gym froze, heads turning, a trainer barking, "You okay?" But all I registered was Jordan's face hovering inches away, blue eyes stormy, lips parted as if to confess a sin. "Shit, Alex," he rasped, not moving at first, his weight a delicious anchor. Our legs entwined, his knee wedged between mine in a way that blurred every boundary. Heat bloomed where we touched, not just from the workout, but something primal, unspoken. I searched his gaze, saw the flicker. Confusion? Fear? Desire? My pulse thundered in my ears. "Jordan," I managed, voice a whisper, "get off before you crush me." But I didn't mean it, and he knew. Slowly, he rolled away, hauling me up with a grip that lingered too long on my forearm. The trainer rushed over, all concern and clipboards, but Jordan waved him off with a forced chuckle. "Clumsy bastard, that's me. We're good." We weren't. As we retreated to the lockers, the silence between us hummed like a live wire. In the steam of the showers, separate stalls, thank God. I replayed it endlessly, water cascading over me like absolution I didn't deserve. What had I seen in his eyes? Jordan had always been the straight one, the guy who'd clap me on the back after I came out in college, saying, "Doesn't change a damn thing, bro. You're family." He'd even fixed me up with his cousin's friend once, a sweet barista named Tyler who fizzled after 3 dates. But lately, cracks had shown. His breakups sharper, his nights out solo more frequent, that distant look when we'd crash at his Wicker Park apartment, binging old Tarantino flicks on his worn leather couch. "What's eating you?" I'd ask. "Just life," he'd mutter, cracking another IPA, his knee bumping mine under the coffee table. Dressed and slumped on a bench, towels slung over shoulders, he finally broke the quiet. "That was intense. You sure you're not hurt?" His voice was low, edged with something raw. I met his stare, heart slamming. "Physically? Nah. You." He rubbed his neck, that telltale flush creeping up his collar. "Yeah, but, Alex, when we hit the floor, it was like, I don't know. Everything stopped. My breath caught. Was this it? The moment I'd fantasized about in the dead of night, sketching his profile into building elevations? What do you mean?" I pressed, casual as I could muster. He leaned in, elbows on knees, the locker room's fluorescent hum underscoring his words. Felt safe, real. Like for once, I wasn't performing. His eyes held mine, vulnerable, and in that gaze, I glimpsed the boy he'd been before the world demanded he be the hero. We grabbed post-workout shakes at the juice bar, the gym's chaos fading into night beyond the windows. Chicago's skyline twinkled like a promise, the beam reflecting fractured stars somewhere downtown. Jordan stirred his protein sludge, uncharacteristically fidgety. "Remember that road trip to the dunes, sophomore year? When we got lost after dark, ended up sleeping under the stars?" How could I forget? His head on my sleeping bag, stories whispered till dawn, my heart aching with what-ifs. "Yeah," I said softly. "Best night ever." He nodded, then, "I've been thinking about stuff. Like why none of these girls stick. Why it always feels off." The air thickened. I sipped my shake throat tight. "Maybe you're looking in the wrong places." It slipped out, laced with hope and terror. He froze, then laughed, a hollow sound. "Maybe. Or maybe the right one's been here all along, and I'm too stupid to see it." That confession hung between us as we stepped into the July heat, humidity wrapping us like a secret. He offered to drive me home, his beat-up Jeep Wrangler idling curbside, and I slid in, the leather seats still warm from the sun. Wicker Park streets blurred by, hipster cafes spilling laughter, murals of jazz legends on brick walls, the L train rattling overhead. Silence stretched, comfortable yet charged, until he pulled up to my Logan Square walk-up, fairy lights twinkling in the maple out front. "Want to come up? Finish that Tarantino marathon?" I asked, pulse racing. He hesitated, keys jingling. "Rain check. Got an early pitch tomorrow." Disappointment stung, but I nodded. As I climbed out, his hand caught my wrist, gentle, electric. "Hey, thanks for today. For everything." His thumb brushed my skin, a spark that ignited years of buried longing. Alone in my apartment, sketches scattered across the drafting table, I paced the hardwood floors, the city's hum a distant lullaby. What the hell was that? Jordan, my straight-as-an-arrow best friend, cracking open like this? I poured a glass of bourbon, neat, and sank onto the couch, replaying his words, his touch. The fall had shaken more than our bodies. It had toppled walls I'd reinforced with denial. Sleep evaded me that night, dreams weaving gym mats into dunes, his body over mine not an accident, but intent. By morning, sunlight slanting through blinds, resolve hardened. I couldn't lose him to fear. But how to bridge the chasm without shattering us? The week blurred into deadlines. Mine a frenzy of CAD revisions for a glassy high-rise on Michigan Avenue, his a gauntlet of client schmoozes that left him drained. Texts flew. Memes about gym fails. Quick check-ins laced with subtext. "Miss spotting you, bro." He'd send with a winking emoji that twisted my gut. Friday hit like a freight train. He called mid-afternoon, voice strained. Alex, you free tonight? Need to talk. Badly. My architect's mind flashed blueprints of escape routes, but my heart overruled. My place, 8. I'll order Thai. Perfect. Bring the whiskey. He arrived disheveled, Thai askew, blonde waves tousled, that boyish grin absent. I uncorked the bottle, glasses clinking as we settled on the balcony overlooking the square's bustle. Family strolling, dogs chasing frisbees in the park below. The air hummed with cicadas and distant traffic. Rough day, I ventured, handing him a pour. He downed half in one gulp, eyes fixed on the horizon where the Sears Tower pierced the dusk. More like rough everything. Broke it off with Lauren for good today. She called me out, said I'm checked out, like my head's elsewhere. He turned to me, vulnerability etching lines around his eyes. She's right. It has been. For months. I leaned against the railing, bourbon warming my veins, the city's pulse mirroring my own. Where, then? The question hung, heavy with implication. He set his glass down, standing close, too close, his cologne mingling with the night's jasmine from the window boxes. With you, Alex. It's always been you. The words landed like the barbell's crash, reverberating through my core. Time stuttered, his hand rising to cup my jaw, thumb tracing my cheekbone with a tenderness that undid me. I freaked after the gym. Thought it was the adrenaline, the fall messing with my head. But it's not. It's real. Terrifying, but real. His breath feathered my lips, blue eyes searching mine for absolution or rejection. Heart thundering. I closed the gap, our mouths meeting in a kiss that tasted of whiskey and revelation. Soft at first, tentative, then deepening with the force of dammed rivers breaking free. His arms encircled me, pulling me flush against him, the hard planes of his body yielding to mine in a dance we'd both rehearsed in silence. Fireworks burst behind my eyelids, not the Loop's July 4th display, but something internal, cataclysmic. We broke apart, gasping, foreheads pressed, his whisper ragged. I've wanted this. God, Alex, I've wanted you. Laughter bubbled up, mingled with tears, mine his, as the weight of years lifted. Me too, I confessed, voice cracking. Every damn day. We tumbled inside, the balcony door clicking shut against prying eyes, the apartment a cocoon of dim lamps and scattered blueprints. Clothes shed like old skins, his shirt whispering to the floor, revealing the sculpted chest I'd admired in stolen glances. My glasses fogging as I traced the trail of hair down his abdomen. It was clumsy, fervent, hands exploring uncharted territories, breaths hitching at discoveries. On my bed, sheets tangling like our limbs, we moved with a rhythm born of intimacy long forged. His touch was reverent, mapping me as if committing elevations to memory, murmurs of beautiful and mine, weaving through gasps. When release came, it shattered us both, a climax, not just physical but existential, binding fractures into wholeness. Dawn crept in, painting the room in soft grays, Jordan's head on my chest, his fingers idly stroking my side. Reality intruded gently, the world outside unchanged, yet ours irrevocably altered. What now? He murmured, voice thick with sleep and uncertainty. I kissed his temple, tasting salt. We figured out. Together. But shadows loomed. His conservative family in the suburbs. My own fears of losing the friendship if this flame guttered. Still, in that moment, cocooned in afterglow, hope bloomed fierce. The fallout hit mid-morning. A call from his sister Mia, shattering the idyll. Jordan? Dad's pissed. You bailed on the family barbecue again. What's going on? He tensed beside me. Phone clutched white-knuckled. I mouthed, tell her, but he shook his head, voice steadying into fabrication. Work crisis, sis. Rain check. Hanging up, guilt shadowed his features. Can't drop this bomb yet. Not till I'm sure. The words stung, a reminder of the chasm still yawning. Sure of what? Us. My tone sharpened, vulnerability flaring to defense. You pull me close, Ernest. Of me. It's huge. Give me time. I nodded, swallowing bitterness, but doubt seeded. Was this liberation or just a phase, a straight man's curiosity destined to curdle? Days blurred into a clandestine rhythm. Stolen lunches at corner delis near his office, where knees brushed under formica tables. Late nights at my place, bodies entwined in exploration, laughter punctuating whispers of futures we sketched like my blueprints. Jordan dove in with his marketer's zeal, devouring podcasts on queer history, tagging along incognito to a boys' town bar where drag queens lip-synced Gaga under neon glows. "This is your world," he'd say, on his eyes as we swayed to pulsing bass, his hand finding mine in the crowd's anonymity. Yet cracks spiderwebbed. A colleague spotting us at a coffee run, eyebrow arched, his ex-Lauren texting cryptic warnings, "Heard you're hanging out more. Careful, he breaks hearts." Paranoia nipped at heels, but passion drowned it, each encounter a reaffirmation. Then the storm broke, 2 weeks in, at a rooftop party in Lincoln Park. Jordan's firm threw bashes like confetti, open bars, skyline views, schmoozers in slim-fit suits. He'd beg me to come as +1, best friend edition, nerves jangling. I arrived in chinos and a crisp button-down, feeling exposed amid the hetero norm. He found me by the railing, skyline ablaze with sunset, pressing a gin and tonic into my hand. "You look killer," he murmured, lips brushing my ear. It escalated in a shadowed corner, away from the jazz quartet's croon. A senior VP, Harlan, corner Jordan, Scotch slurred, "Heard rumors, Hayes. That friend of yours, Rivera, right? Quite the pair you make." Jordan stiffened, arm dropping from me like I'd burned. "Just buddies, Harlan. You know how it is." The lie landed like a slap, my stomach plummeting. Harlan chuckled, oblivious. "Sure, kid, but watch it, clients talk." As he wandered off, Jordan turned to me, apology in his eyes. "Alex," fury boiled over, hot and unbidden. "Buddies? After everything?" I hissed, voice low to spare the party, our spectacle. "Is that all I am when the world's watching?" He reached for me, desperate. "No, it's the job, the optics. Give me a beat to breathe." But the damage etched deep. I stormed out, elevator dinging like a guillotine, tears blurring the lobby's marble. The drive home was a blur of honking cabs and regret, my Logan Square Street a ghost town under sodium lamps. I slammed the door, bourbon bottle beckoning from the counter, but instead I grabbed my sketch pad, lines slashing furious across paper, a high-rise crumbling under its own weight. Hours ticked by, phone silent, until 2 a.m., a key scraping in the lock. Jordan, disheveled in party finery, eyes red-rimmed. "You gave me a key months ago, for emergencies," he said, voice breaking. "This is one." He crossed the room in 3 strides, pulling me into an embrace that cracked my resolve. "I am sorry. God, I'm so sorry. That wasn't me talking, it was fear. The same crap that shamed me forever." We sank to the floor, backs against the couch, his head on my shoulder as confessions poured. "Grew up in that Oak Park bubble. Dad the cop, preaching man up, mom's church lady side on anything different. When I met you, it was like color in grayscale. But admitting I loved you, that terrified me more than any pitch." Tears tracked his cheeks, mirroring mine. "I outed myself tonight, Alex. Told Harlan the truth, screw the optics. You're not just buddies. You're everything." Shock rippled through me, mingled with awe. "You did." He nodded, fierce. "For us. No more hiding." The kiss that followed was salvation, deep, anchoring, sealing vows unspoken. From ashes rose resolve. We navigated the minefield hand in hand. His coming out to Mia over brunch at a sunny Ukrainian village spot, her hug fierce and tearful. "Knew you two were soulmates. Took you long enough." My confiding in my sister Elena via video call from her Seattle perch, her whoop echoing through speakers. "Finally, he's the one who makes your eyes light up like the skyline." Jordan's family proved thornier, his dad's gruff silence at a tense dinner in their ranch-style home, mom's tentative questions over apple pie, but cracks yielded to acceptance, slow as Lake Michigan's thaw. Months unfurled like blueprints unfolding. A joint lease on a loft in West Loop, exposed brick and city views. Gym sessions reclaimed, not as ritual but foreplay, laughter echoing freer. Kinks emerged, his aversion to labels, just call me yours, my need for public affirmation, but we built bridges, therapy sessions in a Pilsen office, unpacking baggage, weekends hiking Starved Rock where dunes whispered of origins. Romance deepened. Surprise sketches of him as a modern colossus, his curated playlists blending Springsteen with Troye Sivan, candlelit dinners on our balcony where proposals weren't words but glances promising forever. Yet drama shadowed paradise. A client backlash hit Jordan's firm. Whispers of distraction, a rival poaching accounts citing his personal drama. Layoff loomed like storm clouds over the Loop, his confidence fracturing. What if I can't provide? What if this us costs everything? He'd agonize, pacing our loft at midnight, city lights mocking from windows. I'd draw him close, hands framing his face. We rebuild, together, like every structure worth standing. It culminated in a rain-lashed confrontation outside his office. Harlan sneering ultimatums, Jordan firing back. Take your accounts. I'll build better, without compromise. He walked out jobless, but unbroken, my arms waiting in the downpour, kiss sealing defiance. Rebirth followed. Jordan launching a queer-inclusive marketing startup from our kitchen table, clients flocking to his authenticity. Me landing the Michigan Avenue Commission, our designs intertwined in steel and glass. Pride Month dawned electric, marching hand-in-hand down Halstead, rainbows draping the streets, his voice hoarse from cheers, mine swelling with pride, not just in him, but us. That night, under Boystown's kaleidoscope, he dropped to one knee amid confetti and bass drops, ring glinting, a simple band etched with Dune's coordinates. Alex Rivera, you changed my straight-laced world into this. Color, chaos, love. Marry me. Tears blurred the neon. Yes, exploded from my lips, crowd roaring approval. Years later, vows exchanged in a lakeside ceremony, waves lapping like applause, Mia officiating with quips, Elena toasting with imported tequila. We stood atop our high-rise, city sprawling below. The gym fall was legend now, retold at parties with laughter, but its truth lingered. One crash birthed resurrection. Jordan's arm around me, his whisper warm, forever changed. I leaned in, heartful, for the better. Always. In that embrace, kith and kin faded. It was just us, two men who'd tumbled into truth, rising stronger, a testament to love's unyielding architecture, fragile yet eternal, defying every storm.